What? I don't know what to say. I don't know how to start.
You always start.
I always start by yapping.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
No.
A long-awaited return. We've said that
back.
for the past 3 times. It's been like...
It hasn't actually been that long and nothing has been happening. So it's been the holiday period.
Plenty been happening.
Happy New Year, everyone.
You know, we've been doing this over a year now.
Mm-hmm.
How sad.
Well, that's not a good way to start it.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How cool. It's
yeah, if you're like...
anniversary.
No one's going to... If you're sitting here going, wow, I hate this. This is so sad. It's going to turn it off.
Well, we've had an anniversary in the past month.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when we uploaded the first one. It was start of the year. I made the channel on Christmas Day.
Yeah, we did, because
actually.
we finally figured out the name on Christmas Day. I remember seeing like the...
Yeah.
We shouldn't have... We're spending time with our families. We're messaging each other.
It can't have been an eventful Christmas. I don't even know where I was. I was probably doing it from a beach somewhere.
Yeah. It's probably just in my house.
Oh, well.
Had enough of my family.
Yeah, so should we start?
We'll
start
with some positive news, because I have a feeling I'm not going to be very happy in this.
Yeah.
I've got some rants brewing in me.
Yeah.
At the moment. So we'll start with some good news of last episode we were saying just keep Renee.
Yeah.
And we just kept Renee.
I'm glad they took our advice.
I'm so glad that,
you're welcome.
Old mate Claire Wheatley, number 1 op, was like watching our pod and was like, yeah, that's a really good idea, guys. We should do that. So yes, I think good option. I was thinking about not only is it just like good because obviously she was a good fit for the team and the results were obviously really good, but then like the transition from Jonas to Renee was pretty seamless. Because I mean, she'd already had worked at the club, but also, what are you laughing at?
Jonas transition.
No, I said Renee. The transition from Jonas to Renee.
Go on.
I was making a good point there. You ruined it. When we went from Jonas to Renee, it was seamless. Because I think, Renee had already been at the club, so everyone sort of knew her, and also the morale was down, so they were looking for a fresh start. But I think stop laughing. I'm not going to talk, you're just going to laugh. Oh, wait. Like a teacher at the front of the room. Oh, wait. Do you want to teach the class?
Oh, God, I'm funny. It was a seamless transition. I keep thinking multiple times a day. I keep thinking about that comic I sent you, where John transitions to G, and Lutz's to transitions. But it's all into the microphone. It was. Yeah, just because she already knows everyone. It's some random coming in.
And I think the morale was down. Everyone saw it as a fresh start. But if they had brought someone else new in the middle of the season, I think it would have been very disruptive. Changing your coach in the middle of the season is quite disruptive. And I think if they were let's bring a third person in, an external person, it would have just been back to square one again. It's too late in the season to be going back to square one all the time. We only get so many retries. But yeah, so WSL is back. The transfer window is still open, pretty much open till the end of January.
Yeah.
Even if the season has started again. And Arsenal pretty much have this transfer window has just been we gave a contract to the coach that was, sitting right in front of us, job done.
Yeah.
And I think after the result last night, it's clear that more needs to be done than just signing a coach.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so frustrating because they're not making any signings because they're like, oh, we're happy with the squad we've got. Well, the squad we've got seriously lacks depth.
That's who's they? You're talking about like the bosses above the coach.
Yeah.
Because I had a thought this
I think
morning.
Renee said it before, but it's mainly like everyone hates Claire Wheatley, who's sort of in charge of that sort of side of it.
Like, I had a thought, like, would coaches not usually have like some involvement
They do, yeah.
in the transfer process?
They do, yeah. But when it comes, I think in terms of like how much money we can throw at something, or looking for those sorts of deals, that has to come from whoever's above, because then you're getting into sort of the financial side of the whole thing.
Yeah. And they didn't want to spend too much money on names escaping me.
I will talk about her shortly.
Yeah.
I have a whole thing to say. We have very little depth in our side. We have an aging side because
You can't say that.
no, but
Tag team.
no, but it's like the thing of like, these experienced players are good, but sometimes you need someone in there who's quick.
Yeah.
And, they're still very talented, but people, slow down as they get older.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think like the ratio of people under like 25.
All of the sort of younger players who are coming up from the academy, we've given them professional contracts, but because they're not going to necessarily get minutes straight away, they've all gone on loan.
Right.
So they're all getting minutes and practice up at other clubs currently. They have a contract with Arsenal, so we can't. But it's like, we need a winger. We have no wingers. I think our midfield is stacked. Our backline is good, but there's so many positions where you're like,
I did turn that on, didn't I?
yes.
I'm just going to check. Keep talking.
There are quite a few positions where you're like, oh, we should like sub someone on, we need fresh legs, but there's no one to go into that position effectively. So that just means people get overworked. Like Caitlin Ford got injured like 45 minutes in last night and had to go off. I think it's a precaution. I don't think it was that serious, but you could tell there was sort of like a gap they couldn't really fill there, and points of like, and we need sort of more like speed and like a good winger in the team, because like a younger winger as well, because like Kyra's setting up so many great passes into the box and there's just no one on the end of them.
Yeah.
And they can't do anything with it. And one of our best shots came from Emily Fox last night. Why is she having to try to score goals? But yeah, it's just like, it was like comparison of like, so we're like a top side at the moment. If you compare us to like Chelsea, who are higher level than us, but sort of what you would be trying to aim to get to that level, because that's how we would win the league, is last night they were able, their bench is so good that they were able to completely sub and change off their entire forward line into being equally incredibly talented players. Whereas we could never like just completely change one line of our team to someone with fresh legs to, score a goal last minute or whatever. And, Chelsea and City have money and like to spend it, and we seem to like to hoard it and sit on it like piles of gold.
We don't have money.
No, because they literally, like, the Deloitte thing was published of like the top earning like women's football teams.
Oh, what was that?
It's like the data from last year.
I didn't see that.
Arsenal was third in the world. Like, it's the top team in England, revenue-wise.
That would have been my assumption.
Yeah, it's the top because, they can sell out the Emirates, which is 60,000 people.
My assumption, because Arsenal women have a lot more fans.
They have a big fan base. There was like loads of Arsenal fans at the Chelsea game. Apparently it was like some annoying Arsenal fans, like at Stamford Bridge. It was like a new record for WSL attendance, and Arsenal's like, "You're welcome, Chelsea." Or some Arsenal fans like that. You're like, "Oh God, guys!"
Arsenal can sell out. Women can sell out Emirates a lot more than Chelsea can sell out Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, they pretty much don't sell out Stamford Bridge. But they just have all this money, and they're not using it. Like, we were literally, like, with the Naomi Goma thing, it's confirmed, like, we were in the race for it. We just didn't want to pay the $1 million that Chelsea did, which we probably could have, because we're not signing anyone else. Yeah. If you want to throw all your money at someone, make Naomi Goma the person you throw all your money at, because she is, I would say, the best female defender in the world right now. And I don't say that lightly, because I am an Emily Fox fan. Like, she is like probably the best female defender in the world right now. A lot of people would agree, and that's why it's like the record transfer fee. But I mean, she spent 2 weeks with Jonas Idevall and said, "See ya, bye."
Don't want to stay there.
Yes. But I think I saw this. So like this article in The Guardian was posted this morning after the Chelsea game. It's Jonathan Liu, and he kind of said it best. I think it's like, by any measure, Arsenal should be the dominant power of women's football in England. They generate the most revenue, the most buzz, consistently draw crowds that put other clubs to shame, whereas the assertiveness and the arrogance, whereas the single-minded determination to be sole author of their own destiny, whereas the January transfer blitz that might have helped bridge the gap and bulk out an overworked squad. And it's like, there seems to be like no ambition from sort of the higher ups of the club to try and improve Arsenal's results.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, you keep going like this, we'll be consistently third place. Is that what they want? Do they not want to win titles? Because it just seems like...
Well, fourth now.
Exactly, yeah. Well,
one loss out of how many? And then
it's because it's
so tight.
It's because City and United both won. So will we?
First isn't tight. 2 to 4 is tight.
Yeah, that tends to be the way at the moment with the sort of Chelsea title.
First is even less tight. I thought last season, bit of Farmers League, but that was a lot closer than it is now.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be like a Barcelona thing, where it's so they're like so dominant.
Mm-hmm.
It's already like a Barcelona thing, you know. I can't really sit here and pretend that WSL is even that more competitive than Liga.
But the thing is, it's like the reason it is the case in so many women's leagues around the world where you have one team that's really dominant with all the good players, and then it's because there's still that lack of development in women's football. It is not the league's fault themselves per se, or the team's fault themselves. It's just like an across the board lack of development where, of course, a team with one team is probably going to end up hoarding all the resources, having just like a stacked lineup that no one can just beat, because, you know, there's no way Crystal Palace or Bristol are going to be able to sign people like Chelsea does, you know. They're going to have to look for homegrown talent.
It's so mad that you get like Emirates being sold out, and then some little ground in a council estate with 1,000 people in the same league.
Yeah, no, I was watching a bit of after the Arsenal game, like Spurs and Crystal Palace. It was at Crystal Palace, and it was literally like one camera set up, so the guy had to like shakily move it up. It was pouring with rain, so you couldn't see anything. And when there was a stop in play, he had to like wipe the lens. You kept seeing him wipe the lens, like even like, and it was tiny.
Even like little Australian grounds, like the Sam Kerr place. I know that's new, but it's still small. Even that has multiple cameras.
Yeah.
I don't know if they use multiple cameras in Adelaide because I'm usually there.
Marden
so
has
watched them.
multiple cameras. They've got that big scaffold.
But like I assume they're setting that up every time.
Probably, yeah.
Because that's not permanent. That's
Yeah.
a bit of
There's a bit of scaffolding that they throw up.
Yeah.
They might leave it up during A-League season, take it down afterwards, whatever. But yeah, it's just frustrating that, like, and you can't put it on the squad necessarily. I think they're like, obviously people can be better, whatever, but they're working with sort of the best of what they've got. If no one's willing to then do anything to improve the squad, then there's no way we can get better. So you kind of just have to sit here and watch us be sort of mid until something happens. It's like...
You're being awfully nice.
Being nice.
You're being awfully like, oh, the squad's doing their best. I was sat here expecting the Beth Mead 2-minute hate. No?
At this point, I'm not even frustrated with the players because, I mean, the Chelsea lost that's a whole nother thing we'll get into.
Yeah.
But that was still, we held Chelsea out for 83 minutes, which is better than most teams have done this year. Like, I remember the commentator saying, oh, Chelsea have a habit of scoring early and all that. And like...
and they had like a... They
could only score from a penalty.
They had a shot in the first minute.
Yeah, they could only score from a penalty. Like, again, like our defense was very strong last night. I mean, like, Steph was great, Emily was great, Leah was great.
I didn't realize it was raining until...
you saw them slipping and sliding around.
I didn't know why Fox kept falling over. I thought, like, is she just not with it today?
She deals really bad with the rain.
And then I saw on the other shot it was raining.
Yeah.
That's why she's falling over.
I swear every game it's raining.
Of course every game it's raining.
No, but like whenever it is raining, Foxy's always the one who's slipping over the most. She hasn't got used to that London rain.
Where's she from?
Virginia.
Sort
of middle of...
It's like Appalachia, I guess. That's West Virginia's Appalachia. I don't know what Virginia's climate is like, to be honest. Maybe it's true.
I think it's sort of Central America.
Central America? Like Central United States?
Yes.
Yeah. But that's below the Mason-Dixon line. So it's like the South. She's from the South.
Yeah.
The Confederate States.
Yeah.
You know?
Great.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's quite dry there. So it just rains.
And also, she was the whole saga where she couldn't put on her shoe and to stop play because she could get her shoe on. Maybe it's the shitty Under Armour boots that she's sponsored and has to wear because everyone's wearing Nike and Adidas and she's got her Under Armour on. Very American.
Under Armour shoes. I didn't even know they made shoes.
They make.
When I think of Under Armour, I think of MyFitnessPal. That's like their biggest contribution. And also how
like The Rock. The Rock has this line with Under Armour.
Right. Well, that's someone you don't want to represent your brand. He's a fucking loser. And MyFitnessPal leaks all the passwords. So it's like, I don't trust Under Armour. So they probably make bad shoes as well. So it's
like, where she could get a shoe on. She could get a shoe on and play had to stop. And the Chelsea players were all like, Emily's on the floor like tying up her shoe. But I mean, while it's fresh and Twitter can't decide, Katie McCabe discourse. Oh, the red card. The penalty, then the red. Some say no one can agree if it was deserved, undeserved, any of it. I think the people have been like zoom in, enhance on the incident between Lauren James and Kim Little to figure out whether if it was actually a penalty. Sort of like who got the ball, did Lauren James dive, can't say too much on Lauren James where you get accused of being a racist by Chelsea fans. Which, I mean, a lot of people are racist towards her, but...
Yeah.
And then the clips of McCabe getting a yellow for yelling at the ref. Why did she turn around and yell at the ref again? And look, we can't determine whether or not how she was speaking to ref was like justified or an overreaction because we don't know what she actually said.
I heard she called her a cunt.
And I think that's people just like lip reading.
Right.
Like maybe it wasn't that bad and people just assume she was angry because she's Irish and they always sound.
And that's just her like her normal speaking.
That's just how she sounds because everyone who's Irish always sounds a little bit angry.
Yeah.
But I think, well, I mean, you know, mouth off the ref first time, but I do think it was somewhat immature for her to turn around and do it again.
Like, yeah, there is a precedent that you get penalized for abusing officials, and to an extent, that's a good thing. Sure, you could say like game's gone soft and all that, but like, you know, try that in rugby. You're not getting away with it.
AFL, you wouldn't get away with flagging off a ref.
Right.
Umpire.
Yeah.
Most sports, they have that precedent like for a reason.
Yeah, but I don't know, this... Yeah, so there's like an element of that. An element of just like, she could have just not turned around. She could have just like controlled her temper a bit more and then not got that yellow card. But this ref seems a bit like gung-ho, doesn't she? Like, did you see that statistic of all the cards she's doled out, to teams against Chelsea?
Yeah.
It could be a coincidence. Maybe they all deserve it. I've not gone and looked at every single instance to make a judgment call. But she just seems a little gung-ho when it's against Chelsea.
It's like, it's too hard to call like biased ref or... Yeah, I mean, it literally just could be like a mixture of both. Like, because
it's convenient for us if she's just biased.
Yeah,
I'd like that to be the. I'd like it.
You'd like it to be the thing, but also I think McCabe was acting out of line. Like, even if she had just been ranting her frustration, got that first yellow, that's when you go, oh shit, okay, I need to shut up. You don't turn around and keep going, and then red, sent off, miss a game. It's just like,
don't you feel silly? Less than an hour before you were like, McCabe doesn't get up to shenanigans anymore.
I didn't say. I said got sent off. I said she doesn't roll around anymore.
It's still it's under the broad umbrella of shenanigans. You were like batting for her, and then she got herself sent off. I think you jinxed.
I know, my fault.
Yeah. And the Chelsea player. I don't remember who it was.
Oh, Aaron Cuthbert.
I should. You can't say that to the ref.
Immediately goes to like to tell on her, like I'm like, I'm sure that everyone's like, I'm sure the ref heard it. You don't need to be, because she turned around and said it directly to the ref.
And then she turns around and acts all incensed.
Yeah, it wasn't like she said it like over here under her breath and was someone like, did you hear that? It was literally
You'd think they were like best friends or something with the ref.
Yeah. Ooh.
But
I'm not qualified. I've looked at everyone's zoom in, enhance, close up, whatever of was the penalty deserved or not. I'm not qualified enough to determine. I've seen so many different takes on it, and I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of the rules to be able to determine whether or not the penalty was deserved.
I would say, because it is subjective, the light just changed.
It's really dark in here.
A cloud. Because it is subjective, like you say. But I think if that counts as a foul and deserves a penalty, then there were other instances where it was Chelsea players who were the aggressors.
Chelsea's.
Where nothing happened.
Yeah, there were so many times that like Chelsea were like pushing us over and hugging shirts and stuff, and there wasn't even any cards taken out until that McCabe moment. which was crazy because it was a pretty rough game. Very physical game. So but yeah, I think
it's always trouble when that's those two teams. You know, there's just always so much faffing around. It's not like a good Adelaide game. Not like it's always above. What am I saying? There's always cards and like I can't.
A-League has like some of the most cards in the league I've ever seen. I swear there's a red card literally every week in the A-League, which I've not seen in like any other league.
The ones we go to. The ones we go to physically in like Marden and Coopers, that's creepy.
He just can't stand up very well.
They've been good sportsmanship, right? And not that much additional time.
Yeah.
And then, like, you get Arsenal and Chelsea and they just can't help themselves.
Well, it's a rivalry and you'd expect it's sort of the North London Derby was similar where and
I enjoyed.
Poor Hayley Rasso on the pitch. You know what's going to happen.
I enjoyed that. I'm not even saying this as like a complaint. To be honest, it probably sounds like I am, but it can be annoying. It can be annoying if you just want them to get on with it, but it can also be funny. If there's like a lot of like clip-worthy moments.
I think it's good if it's sort of both teams equally, and people do get penalised when something goes over the line sort of thing. But I think in the Chelsea game, so many Chelsea players were just like getting away with stuff, and then that makes it annoying because you're like, the second we do any sort of pushback, it's a problem. It's sort of like that Australia-Brazil game when the ref was just useless and not calling like anything until a Brazil player was literally like dead on the floor.
Oh yeah, no, those Brazilians played like they were trying to kill themselves. Over a friendly.
But even without that, if a team comes in trying to play rough, if you as a ref don't try and police it and sort of put a stop to it before people will get hurt. If you're not doing anything to prevent it, people will get injured, and you don't want that to happen. So, like, there's a reason that they sort of, try and stop this stuff from happening. So they don't want it to go too far and people get hurt. But
especially in the rain.
Yeah.
It's wet. You can get injured more. Because it's
slippery.
Yeah.
Easy to fall over.
Fox was falling over on her own volition. She didn't have to get pushed. Although she did keep getting pushed as well.
Yes. But in
local ref.
In summation,
we can say local ref. Chelsea fans don't watch us.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
In summary of the McCabe thing, I think whilst it is a tough ref, she has had like a history of being a tough ref. So I think in that, you go like, oh, she's reffing today. I need to dial it back, because you don't want to get unnecessarily penalised with stuff. But also, Kenny McCabe, that is like, she has been around for long enough. She is a part of like the sort of leadership team. Like, she will get the captain's armband if Kim or Leah aren't starting, and you would kind of expect some better behaviour than, Again, if you're frustrated mouthing off first, you had the warning yellow, that's when you shut up. You don't keep going. So I think, in all things considered, many people were at fault, but I don't think we can sit here and go, it was all the ref, or it was all McCabe, or whatever.
Very moderate take.
I've just seen so many people on Twitter being like, corrupt ref, dismantle the league, or McCabe is a thug, she should be sacked. Like, there's no in between. When I think it's a weird, complicated situation where, again, we can't say if what she said was particularly out of line, and it could just be like the general rule of you can't say shit to the ref, I don't think we need to be going, extreme on this. I think we need to acknowledge it was a bad moment on everyone's part. Let's not do it again for no reason.
And then what's the next one? City, right? Yep. Next week?
Our next WSL game is City. Okay. We've got the Bristol League game rescheduled. Has that been
rescheduled?
Yeah.
When? What's it today? I don't have the date on my watch. What is it? The 27th?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Oh.
Thursday morning.
This Thursday.
6:15 a.m.
20th.
It's the 30th.
30. Thursday morning.
Yeah.
When?
6 a.m.
Nothing bad to do.
And then City on the weekend. Yikes. Yeah, so I mean, I think everyone would have been quite happy with a sort of 0-0 draw with Chelsea last night.
Would have been better.
It would have been better. It would have been at least a point taken off them, a point to us, sort of thing. You know, like it would have sort of done a job in narrowing that gap. And now we've slipped down to 4th because of United and City winning. But it's like literally like 1 point difference between it. Well, United 3rd. It's City then United.
Really?
I think it's entirely on goal difference.
Right, okay. At the end of the season, we're going to have to look back at our prediction because I know mine were horrible. So
Tottenham 4th. Tottenham 4th, everyone. Isaac said Tottenham 4th, and yet they struggled against Crystal Palace last night. It was 2-2 for a long time, and then they got a late 3rd one. They struggled against Crystal Palace and lost to West Ham in like the Subway Cup and got knocked out. Yeah, Tottenham becoming 4th. Just because they made a shitload of signings.
Being optimistic.
Because they made a shitload of signings.
I mean, I don't want Tottenham to do well. I thought they'd do a bit better because of Rasso, but I guess it's naive to say.
On for Rasso, she's getting minutes.
I guess it's naive to say because of one signing they're gonna jump like 2 places.
Also, but it was very annoying for my fantasy last night. Not only did Rasso get a yellow card, which takes a point off of her, but you get like a point for like 1 minute played, and then you get a point if they've played 60 minutes, and they subbed her off. So she had that automatic point taken off because of the yellow card, and then they subbed her off at like the 56th minute. So I didn't so I got 0 points for Haley.
I'm still last.
You're not actually.
That's crazy because I've never changed it.
You had that one. Oh God, that's not a good text. Izzy texting me, "Are you in a safe space?" Yeah. I'll get back to that later. No, because you had that one, because you have captain Katrina Gorry, and then there was that 1 week where she scored a hat trick and got bonus points, and she alone got like 20 points for you. Nice. Georgie is still leading everything in the fantasy. She's got like hundreds more points than everyone else.
Right.
She says it like. Anyway, speaking of Man City, I have something I want to talk about. And it's maybe unpopular, but I'm sick of discourse every time Vivianne Miedema does well. Oh my...
I thought we were over it like 2 podcasts ago.
I know. People are not over it.
Yeah. I'm seeing it as well. I get it as well.
Every time she does well, we get the fucking people like, we shouldn't have lost her. I'll never forgive you, Arsenal. Guys, it's officially time to move on. It has been a long time. We need to move on. And like, I get it. This Miedema stands, they're very diehard, you know, and I can't sit here and talk about don't stand players, because I mean, who am I to talk? Follow me on Twitter. But I think I was thinking about the reason why I think all of this is happening is because I think a lot of WOSO fans have sort of been in Stan fandom space before, but not into sports.
Yeah.
So
they're like transitioning from like Taylor Swift standing,
yeah,
Olivia Rodrigo, and then bring stan culture to football in. Look,
which I don't think is entirely a negative thing, and I think it's good that.
I mean, men do it too.
Yeah, men do it too.
The Ronaldo Messi thing, that's stan culture by a different name.
And I don't think that necessarily is like a bad thing, but I'm saying it's like a justification for why they behave like this is because they've never really been into sport before. They haven't grown up around how sort of sport works. And it's good that they are able to access sports fandom in a way that they find enjoyable. But they don't understand that like sports teams is all a numbers and money game. Like players get bought and sold all the time. And if you support a team and your favorite goes, I want to leave, or they get sold, you kind of just have to go, oh, that's sad. But then you can sort of enjoy their career from a distance, but you have to sort of pick a new favorite on your team. You can't constantly sit around being like, we should have kept them, like some like old person rocking back and forth in the corner, like, right, grandma, let's get you to bed. I remember when she played for Arsenal. And yeah, like there were obviously criticism at the time of when Miedema left, like why didn't we do more to keep her? She's one of the, greatest players that's ever been in the WSL. She's the top scorer, whatever. She's had problems with injury, which has been unfortunate, so she hasn't always been in her top form because she had the ACL and then injured her knee again, had surgery and was out again, and now she's sort of back and coming back into form. And you can criticize Arsenal for that, but also there is the point of her herself said that she wanted to leave.
Yeah.
And at that, you have to be, okay, that was your decision, that's your choice. Sort of just have to move on. Like, if you pick a team to support, you have to support the team. And if you support the players who play for your team, but when they leave, you can be sad about it for a bit, but it's like, we got to move on with our lives.
Yeah.
There's still plenty of good players at Arsenal that you can support. I mean, when Miedema left, we got to sign Mariona, which has been one of the best things for Arsenal has done in a long time. Thank you, Leah Volti. Not for the reason she wanted to come from Barcelona. She was dating someone, but I know, it's that sort of complicated intersection of stan culture and football culture that WOSO sort of uniquely has.
Yeah.
That leaves a lot of the people who've been around for ages or who haven't come from stan culture but have come from sports culture into WOSO, leaves them really annoyed, and then Stan sort of behaving in a sort of way that's not deemed as like acceptable by sort of sports fans.
Yeah.
So
be better off watching MMA if you're into stan culture, because then you only have to support one person.
Tennis.
Yeah.
Tennis, there's no one on teams, every person. So you can just pick and choose your faves. They start flopping, you go watch someone else. Who cares?
Even like in like F1, that's got teams, but I've never seen anyone get down anyone else's throat for swapping between teams. It's not like soccer or rugby. Nothing like that.
I feel like because like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but F1 teams aren't then they're not really tied to like location. So
actually, no, some of them sort of are.
I mean, you get like Ferrari is Italy sort of thing, but like, because some people would just like pick a sports team based on, but a lot of them, it comes from family history or geography.
Yeah, it's like football teams, it's all from like your background, and it's usually somewhere working class where you have a lot of solidarity in where you're from.
Yes.
And it's just comfort.
Or, like whoever your dad supported, who then your grandfather supported, and wherever they were from. Yeah. Sort of thing. Like, all the Adelaide teams I support, I've got them from my family.
Yeah. That, like, I know what you mean, because like people supporting just like where their granddad was from.
Mm-hmm.
Because even within the UK, moving around to a massively different part of the country, even in a country that small, is a relatively new thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I told you about when I looked at my family history and it was just the same little village for 300 years. Like, it's just people just were from one place. Moving around within a country so much is quite a new thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of these teams like predate the automobile, you know?
Yeah.
Especially they're like mass-produced transit and paved roads.
But it's like that. I think I see a lot in England just from observation of, because Man United was so dominant in the Premier League. You know, they won it
like,
so many years.
Like when I was a kid.
Yeah. So there's Man United fans like all over the country. You don't just have to be from Manchester to be supporting Man United, sort of thing. Like, and I mean, you could claim that's the same with City fans. A lot of them are not from Manchester. City fans, whoever they are. But I mean, yeah, I guess even if you do move, you still sort of keep your sports team. Not many people would move to I can't say like Adelaide has this weird sort of intersection of, if you think like AFL, there's loads of people in Adelaide who support Melbourne teams because they either picked one when Adelaide didn't have a team in the AFL, or they're from Melbourne and have moved here and have just kept their team. Yeah. So it's like, if I moved to a different city, I wouldn't stop supporting Adelaide. I wouldn't go, I need to pick a Melbourne team or a Sydney team.
Easy. Yeah. I know what you mean. I'd still support Adelaide if I moved. I'm not even from it.
So, because we've got this sort of intersection of those people who have sort of a team like ingrained into them, and they'll never just pick a team. And
there is a surprising amount of people from interstate who live in Adelaide. Like, I meet a lot of people who are from Melbourne and Sydney. I always question why.
It's really unaffordable to live in Melbourne and Sydney.
Right.
It's a bit more affordable to live here.
Relatively sure, but it's still not great.
Yeah, it's just more affordable than Melbourne and Sydney.
I mean, for a house, sure. For an apartment in the city centre, not at all.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, because you now have this sort of intersection of stan culture of people who have a team sort of ingrained into them, and people who picked a team. It's like they're going to sort of butt heads because they're like the concepts of loyalty that, you know, people have had team ingrained into them, where you basically hate anyone that doesn't play for your team. Doesn't matter how good they are, you just have to hate them. And then people being like, I like all these players.
I tell you what, it's like if Luke Hemmings joined One Direction. Like, do you stay a Five Sauce fan because you're into their music, or do you become a Directioner because you're just following your favorite? You know?
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen, though. What I've just said.
No.
That never happens.
It's sort of just like comparing it to a pop culture, or if it's like one of the members of Blackpink went and joined BTS, and then those two fandoms who hate each other suddenly have to try and get along, or like, what do you do? But you kind of just, but if you picked a team to support, you can't just support them for one person. If you want to support a player, just say you don't support a club. Be bipartisan. That's true. If you want to do that.
No one's going to want anything to do with you.
Yeah, but if you want to be ride or die for one player, or like do what I do now and only support them when they play for country, you know. Because, you know, they...
Yeah, so if you're like a Dutch Miedema...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to like get a Miedema kit, go buy Netherlands one. Even if you're not from Netherlands, go get that orange.
But then because they use the same color for all their sports, you look like a Max Verstappen.
It's just the color.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's
like green. We've got green and gold for everything.
Like when I was crossing Froome Road, I walked up to the crossing, and then an Indian guy was like, "Hey, you like cricket, bro?" I was like, "No, no, it's a soccer shirt." You know, because it's the same color. It's indistinguishable from the side. You're just
you're seeing green and gold, and you're thinking some kind of Australian national team.
Yeah, it could be any of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if you were finished. If you weren't finished, do go on. But we should talk about the alleged kit leaks.
Oh, yeah.
Were you finished?
I think I don't really know how to sum up what I was saying. Apart from Arsenal fans, move on from Vivianne Miedema. It's time to move on. If you're so still hung up on her, go be a City fan or something. I don't know. I was just going to say, like, imagine if I'd remembered there was that brief moment where it was like, Arsenal are interested in Hayley Raso. Imagine if I had, every time Hayley does something good for Spurs, if I get on Twitter and go, we should have signed her. Like, when they get real old, fast.
Those TikToks got the most views. It got the most criticism because people didn't like it. Yeah,
no, that was a bad day. I really don't want to bring Hayley Raso to Arsenal up again because it has
views though.
It brings me like trauma being in the trenches on Twitter.
Oh, that day was pretty funny.
Being like, she's washed, and I have to be there like,
yeah.
Anyway, trauma. Right.
Yeah.
I think that's all on that.
Okay.
The Subway Cup. We're through to the
Brighton
finals, yes.
Yeah. Nice. That's cool. I meant to look
I like how everyone else had to play like WSL teams and Chelsea got Durham.
Oh, I love Durham.
Can we hold Conti/Subway Cup?
That's going to be real hard because
Chelsea are just going to go for like the quadruple at this point.
I mean, we didn't get thrashed last night against them, and like
it's not going to be good for morale though.
We're good at Conti Cups.
We are
for some reason against Chelsea specifically, like. You know, like during the league,
everyone just locks in and comes. We just come into clutch, like
during the league,
fueled by Subways. Now
you got Manu standing there like a sim. You put
now she's not first keeper in the WSL anymore.
You put Manu in the cup, and then she goes completely sicko mode. She can just defend against everything. Yeah. She's putting her life on the line.
That's why she's now our keeper for that, and then not in WSL. Got downgraded.
I don't know what it is that makes her so good at goalkeeping during cups specifically. But you know, if she can, if she could bring that same energy last year, like that was I still remember that vividly. I remember it vividly.
Yeah.
Last year she was so good.
And then she gets to WSL and is like,
yeah, it's just vibing.
What's going on there? Why do all our players lock in so much harder when it comes to Conti Cup? Maybe because they know it's our only chance at silverware because we can't win the league.
Yeah. So I think, don't despair. Even though the gap between us and Chelsea in the league is much bigger.
But it's like,
I think it's bigger this year.
I mean, Chelsea was still really dominant in the WSL last season. But when it came to, so we won like Conti, and then the FA Cup final was United and Spurs.
So random.
It was so random. So
yeah.
I think in these sort of leagues, they're interesting because like anything can happen. Because what happens is it tends to be let's play our less experienced players, let's do different lineups, rest the players that we play all the time in the main league. And then you can't really predict what's going to happen because, you don't know. These players you haven't really seen before, in combinations you haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Because they're not taken as seriously. But Chelsea at this point probably just want the quadruple because they've got Sonia who wants to win everything. No.
Put it face down. It's do me head in.
They've got Sonia who's used to just winning everything at Lyon. So she probably just wants to win everything at Chelsea. I reckon she'll be like one of the most successful women's coaches ever.
Shortly.
Even just with Lyon, like I don't know her history before Lyon, but with Lyon, just like so many titles to in Champions Leagues and most women's Champions Leagues ever.
What was that? Is that thunder?
Sign of the apocalypse.
Earthquake?
I think it's something going overhead.
Oh. Weird.
Sign of the apocalypse.
We've written predictions and results. I was gonna write down like the most recent matches and the upcoming ones, but I forgot and my camera's recording. I should use the camera to record, then bring an iPad or something.
Yeah, notebook.
To put notes
pen and paper.
on, but I never have.
How retro.
I think this is the 10th. I actually do think it's the 10th now.
Wow. Double digit.
And I still haven't. That's like...
You had an iPad in the first episode.
That's less than once a month.
You had an iPad.
We were supposed to do this every 2 weeks. And we did it less than once a month.
Well, it's hard when there's big breaks and stuff.
And also hard when I'm extremely lazy.
Well, let's talk about the A-League.
Yeah.
Because that's been going on. It's been chugging away.
I like A-League this year. I didn't like it last year.
Well, you like A-League.
Fickle.
I like A-League. You like A-League this year because we're doing well.
No.
Plastic fan.
I still support them when they're not doing well. Bear in mind, I bought the women's membership over winter.
True.
During the seasons.
True.
The last game
was 8-0.
Yeah. I was looking through my cupboard a couple of days ago. I was looking for balm for this tattoo because I knew I had it somewhere.
Yeah.
From the last place I lived. And then I found the ticket.
Yeah, because we got physical tickets. Yeah.
It's all crumpled. It's all crumpled now, which is a shame because it's a good keepsake of when...
Yeah, because who actually gets a physical ticket anymore?
We got completely thrashed and I had I'm going to say it, trauma from that game.
Now every time I see Newcastle in their ugly shirts, but is that colour goldy brown?
Yeah,
it's like shite.
Yeah.
I've seen Newcastle play in person too many times. I'm allowed to be mean.
I don't know what happened there. Whatever. It's in the past. It's a long time in the past, and yet
we're good now.
I watched that. And I still gave them money for a membership.
True.
You didn't, so I've given them more money.
Well, I have my AW membership. We can't have everything. Like infinite money generators.
It's like $70, dude. You're a student. You should take advantage of that. Erica had to pay over 100.
I couldn't say I was going to commit to going to every game and then it's been a waste of money.
It wouldn't have been a waste of money because you're still supporting them financially.
True, but...
But what was the last one?
We were there.
We were there on
Saturday.
Who it was? Don't tell
Western
me.
United.
Well, I was going to say that. That was. We didn't lose.
No.
Didn't lose. I'm still pissed off about Perth. About idiot Perth.
We had a whole rant about this in another episode.
Did we?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
We don't need to go on the Perth thing again.
We've got the rematch next week. It's at Cooper's.
Not next week, it's week after.
Oh yeah, it's the next home game, 2 weeks.
This week is...
A little shy of 2 weeks.
This week is Sydney, in Sydney.
Sydney, Sydney.
For any Ulfs out there, it's the Alice Derby.
Yes. And, Sydney, trash. Are they still last?
Not anymore.
Second to last.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. So, well... not to jinx it, but I'm not too concerned about next week. The week after, we've got the Perth one, which...
Perth aren't that good. Perth aren't that good. I mean,
the last one was a fluke. They're not that good. It was a fluke.
They beat Brisbane. which was weird because Brisbane's like one of the top teams at the moment, but they haven't been that good this year.
Yeah. Our last away game.
When we played Perth, it was bad reffing.
It was.
Yes.
It was. So Perth is getting steamrolled in 2 weeks' time. It's probably going to be close to 1 week by the time I upload this. Mark my fucking words. Yeah. They're going to get steamrolled. We're going to be there in person. And all the residents have a cry.
They're not real. They're all paid actors.
Well, it's going to be good. And then I forgot what's after that.
Sydney. Oh, no, that's before. Doesn't matter.
No.
Can't.
But then not long after that is Melbourne again, because that's the...
Yeah, the Melbourne teams are the problem.
That's the...
Because we're like hard stuck in third because the two Melbourne teams we just like can't beat.
It's whenever the F1 is, because that's the one where I'm in the city but won't be able to go.
Because the stadiums are so far out.
Because like...
How do you Melburnians do it?
It's so far away, dude.
I guess a lot of Melburnians probably live in the suburbs, so it's not that far.
I guess, but then if you live in any suburb that's like north or west...
Oh, is it? Yeah, right.
City, because this one is like southeast.
Right.
I was looking at the...
They're just like
trains.
sitting on trains for just...
It's like 2 trains and a bus where I would be, and about like 90 minutes.
They just love taking
public transport.
They love
40, 50 by car.
Yeah,
that's crazy. So I will be in the city, but I will not be attending.
Just watch it on the correct time zone,
and we may lose. That's the only
thing. Is it's like
that's what I'm concerned about.
I mean, yeah,
recent the soon.
Yeah.
I can't think of the word, bro.
The near future.
Yeah. What's the word for near future? But like, kind of like the word recently.
Let's just go with near future.
Sure. Adelaide's the best.
We're winning the league.
Yeah.
We may not. The thing is, like,
premiership.
The ladder positions will only get you a minor premiership. At the end of the day, it's who wins that grand final.
Exactly.
And we're making finals.
Yeah.
Which Adelaide has not done in a long time.
Yes.
Like Charlie Grant was still playing for us and we made finals. There we go. Charlie Grant mentioned had to get it in once in the pod.
Yeah.
We gotta drop. There's certain people's names that we have to drop every pod episode and take them off. Rasso, Grant, done.
Fox.
Call it a day. Fox. Yeah. Call it a day. Manu. Yeah, we're winning the league. If Arsenal's going to let us down, that means we have good karma for A-League.
Yeah.
That's just how the universe works.
Yeah. Gotta have something nice.
Yes.
Need to buy shirts as well. Well, I don't know if they're back in stock.
It seems, when I walk past the merch stand, it looks like they had no home kits. So they could just be sold out forever.
I'll check the website again.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice kit. I just like...
Yeah, it is so nice. They just sold out and then they got stolen.
Yeah.
According to Mr. Charlie Grant.
Yeah. We never saw it again.
Charlie Grant, good luck, babe.mp3. And that's all I'm going to say on that. Charlie Grant loves good luck, babe.
Get them signed. Why do you not get things signed by the players?
I don't have anything for them to sign. I wasn't wearing a jersey. You're the one who was wearing a jersey. Isabel Hodgson was right there. She's on your back. Why didn't you get it signed?
It's scary.
So you're going to call me out for being scared of them when you're scared of them?
Yes.
Okay.
This isn't about me. It's about you.
Oh, yeah. I don't have anything for them to sign. They can't.
I suppose.
Yeah.
What else do we have? That was the end.
That's it. Yeah.
We didn't talk about the kit, allegedly. Or is it not worth it?
Well, why don't we? And I've barely seen it.
Why don't we see if something actually happens?
Yes.
I don't want to like...
I've seen like very vague pictures from random sources. So once something comes, that the white kit with the red collar looks nice. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I've really seen. I haven't actually seen much about home and away or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cool. How long was this?
an hour and 3 minutes.
Really?
But there was also the
faffing
the
around,
faffing
yeah,
and
so
the
it's
tech.
probably-
But that was probably only a few minutes. So
Nice. Cool. Bye. We'll see you in another month.
no, the near future, like we said.
Yeah. The near future. There's definitely a word for near future.
We'll figure it out and get back to us.
Okay. Hold on.
Bye.